Okay, this one's going to be a little different, as it's not a robot from a movie or TV show, and neither is it one of my own designs.
What nightmarish rabbit hole are you throwing us into?
Keep your feathers on, McCluck. We're going to be exploring a series of comic books published by LEGO themselves, loosely based on their original classic space theme.
And out of those adventures came forth a robotic hero known as Keko.
So, between 1983 and 87, Jim Spaceborn was the lead character in two comics, The Unknown Galaxy and The Kidnappers from Swamp Planet, written and illustrated by Frank Mattson.
There was actually a third adventure, Panic on Board, which was drawn but never colored nor published.
Many fans of LEGO's early in-house space theme would be aware of this series.
Well, I never heard of it.
You wouldn't be the only one, McCluck, but don't worry. If you're curious about it, we'll leave a link to an archive for you.
Oh, excellent!
Not only was the robot Keko a big part of these adventures, but looking through the comics pages, you'd find enough drawings to accurately recreate it with actual LEGO parts.
So what are we waiting for?
Let's get building.
Hold on. Before we start, there's a color issue we should address.
What?
Another one?
Yes, that's right. It's not as big a deal as for Huey, Dewey, and Louie, but it involves a change in the way LEGO represented their grey.
Well, what about it?
Around 2003, LEGO changed their light and dark grey colors, which now have a kind of a blue hint to them.
Which is why Brinkley referred to them as light and dark bluish grey, because the older grey were more, well, grey, you know?
So what?
Well, if you want to recreate a genuine Keko, you'll need to source parts in that original light grey color, which was ubiquitous back in the 80s but is extremely rare nowadays.
Or you could just grab parts in today's colors. I can't see how that would be a problem. And they'll be more readily available to boot. Problem solved.
Well, for the most part.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you in a bit. Now, one thing that I really liked about this robot's simple design is that it's actually built upside down, which was quite original for the time, starting with a couple of 1x2 tiles turned over.
That does make it quite a unique robot from the get-go.
Remember, it's not my design, I'm just showing you how they did it. Okay, so the legs are just a bunch of 1x1 round plates, all secured together thanks to a 1x3 plate and a 1x1 tile between those legs.
That's like giving the robot a codpiece. I knew it was an old design, but I didn't realize it was that old.
They did work to hide the studs as much as possible, even if it did lead to some people making puerile comments.
Is he talking about us? What do you think?
The torso is made up of a standard 1x1 brick in the middle, with headlight bricks on either side, and some 1x1 round plates for the shoulders.
All pretty simple.
The most original aspect of this robot is its orientation. The rest is kinda straightforward indeed. Now, to strengthen that torso, we're adding a 1x3 plate on top, followed by a 1x1 round plate for the neck, and a 1x2 jumper plate for the start of the head.
I'm surprised that specialized 1x2 plate with a single stud in the middle existed back then.
The original design of that piece first appeared in 1978, Gigi.
Fancy that. Learn something new every day.
The bulk of the head is made up of two headlight pieces placed on their side, with a 1x2 tile covering the stud at the back and a 1x2 plate for its face.
What about the top of the head?
What about it?
Well, as it is, it's just got two big holes there.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not how the drawing stated it should be. However, I agree that it doesn't look right, so let's alter the design a smidgen by putting a 1x2 plate up there as well.
I think it looks better that way.
Agreed.
And you did end up making a change to the design.
It's so minor, it's hardly worth mentioning. Okay, now we've reached the stage where we're encountering the problem I alluded to earlier. You see, Keko had some special arms, actually made of hinge plates.
Those look pretty cool. Why did you never use those yourself?
Because they've been discontinued since 1986.
Well, that's like 40 years ago.
And on top of that, it was long before LEGO replaced their original grey with the current color.
Ah, so that means you need to find old parts in a discontinued color, and if you use modern colors for those other parts, you have a discrepancy, and the arms will stick out like a sore thumb.
Exactly, although it's not really as bad as you might think. Yes, the greys are different, but I for one can easily live with the difference. What's more of an issue is finding a local seller on Brinklink who has those old parts and is not charging the earth for them.
Looks like that could be an issue if you live in the UK. And the few available in the rest of Europe are quite expensive.
It's an old robot made up of old parts, although I do feel those hinge plates are quite effective as arms. But this isn't the end of the road for Keko.
What do you mean? It's built. It's done.
Others have worked to update Keko over the years, including the one and only Peter Reid.
The guy who designed the LEGO Ideas exosuit and co-wrote LEGO Space, Building the Future.
The very same.
Oh, I love that guy. You even had a chance to interview him some years back, right?
How could I forget? Well, as part of his Lego Space book, he provided instructions on how to build his updated Keko, and later published on Flickr some screenshots of an improved version.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, I'm not going to show you how to build his version. If you want to get inspired, I strongly suggest you purchase his book. It's really a lot of fun if you're a fan of space exploration and Lego.
I like how he built the backpack, which wasn't part of the original model.
And how complex his arms are.
How he built the head is impressive. I would never have thought of it.
Peter's pretty adept at using pieces in unusual ways to create unique looks.
Like the hinge piece for the hips and using a neck bracket for the sleeves at the side of the face.
Amongst others, yes, and the model's pretty sweet. Except...
What? What's wrong?
Well, if you put it next to the original, you'll see that it's pretty tall.
Dribbling takes up space, Captain.
I know that, but I think we could shrink it a little. But dare I alter his design?
Go for it.
Okay, well, first of all, I think his feet are just too thick, so let's get rid of those extra tile and plate pieces. And I understand the point of that torso's jumper piece, as it allows the chest to twist and turn, but I think I can live without it. So, off it goes too. Now, one of those arms is more indented than the other, and that's because Peter used the headlight piece only on one side.
I'm not a fan of asymmetry.
Nor am I. So let's put that arm and that ingot piece to one side, get rid of that headlight piece, replace it with the 1x1 brick with studs on two adjoining sides, and replace that arm and ingot.
Symmetry is always the way to go.
And there you go. It's now practically the same height as the original.
I agree. It's so much better because of that.
So there you have it. 3 different versions of Keko the robot. Which one do you prefer? Is there another variant you're aware of? Have you designed your own model yourself? Let us know in the comments, and if you like what we do,
and how we do it, and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course.
The link's in the description and pinned comment.
And we'll speak to you again.
Say it.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not me.
Say it. Next time on the Year of the Robots. Damn. I was so sure we had him.
Number 5 is alive.
Or you could just grab parts in today's colors. I can't see how that would be a problem. And they'll be more ready to...